Inside this box is a guitar. Obviously, you're watching a guitar channel, and it's a guitar-sized box. Is a guitar that I have not been able to stop thinking about since the very first moment that I laid eyes on it at Sweetwaters Gear Fest last year. I'm talking, of course, about the guitar you saw in the thumbnail and the title, the Epiphone 150th Anniversary Crestwood. There's a lot that I like about this guitar, and I'm very, very excited to open it up. But what I want to talk about first is the fact that this is not going to be a pristine guitar, because I ordered this off of Sweetwater's demo section. Did you know that Sweetwater has a demo section? They have, if I remember correctly, like 120 pages. Not 120 listings, 120 pages of gear that's listed at demo discounts, whether it has, you know, little bits of damage here and there or big bits of damage. I don't know. I'm assuming they don't sell anything with tons of damage. This looked like it had a little bit of a crack around the treble side of the nut, if I remember correctly, and that earned it a discount. If you're thinking about buying something, if you had your eye on something and it just feels a little bit too expensive, I'm just saying, maybe it's worth checking out the demo savings on Sweetwater, and maybe you might be able to save a couple $100. So let's crack it open and see how bad the damage actually is. Based on the shipping labels on the top here, I'm getting the impression that this was a return. I didn't know if demo meant that it was going to be a floor model or something that, you know, didn't quite pass the, what is it, a 55-point inspection or whatever. But it looks like someone bought this and then returned it based on the imperfections that they found. It's in a case. There wasn't any candy in either of those boxes, which makes me suspect that whoever bought this ate the candy and then returned it without the candy. Sweetwater, I think you got grifted. Don't do that, guys. I'll not point my knife at you. Don't do that, guys. Don't grift Sweetwater for candy. Just ask for candy. They'll give you more candy. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that 150th anniversary Epiphone comes in a hard shell case like this, but I wasn't expecting it. It's still an Epiphone. I was expecting it to come in a bagged up box. Oh my gosh, this is locked. Where's the key? Am I gonna need to pick a lock to get this guitar out? I've never picked a lock in my life. I wonder if I have keys in another case that would work with this. This might be a long shot, but I'm gonna try the case key that came with an Orangewood guitar. It worked! I had a suspicion, but pretty much all cases use kind of the same key. It's not like this is a high security deal going on here. Finally, the moment of truth. There it is. Ta-da! And there's the key, which actually looks different than the key that I just used, even though the key I just used worked. How did they lock it? Maybe it like rattled closed in shipping or something. It still has all the case candy. Really nice case. Fluffy and blue inside. Was not expecting that with this guitar. We've got a 55-point inspection card here. Still had the foam on the switch. It still has the plastic on the pick guard. Let's see if I can find that crack. There's no crack where they were indicating there would be a crack. They had a photo with a little tag pointing to where the crack would be. There's visually a tiny little gap in between the nut and the neck. Is that why this was returned? That gap? That's so minimal. I mean, you buy yourself a $1,000 Epiphone and you want to make sure it's perfect. I get it. But that wouldn't have bothered me at all. I'm not seeing anything else going on with this guitar that makes me think it's used or damaged at all. So yeah, right off the bat, I'm going to say, go check out the demo savings at Sweetwater, because the thing that the guitar might have been returned for or been deemed imperfect for might be so minimal that no one's ever going to notice. But look at this thing! I want to talk about why I wanted one of these and why it's been stuck in my head for so long. There's a lot of details here that I'm very fond of. First of all, this color. Oh man, this pop of tangerine orange, this creamsicle orange. My wife saw me looking at a picture of this right before I ordered it, and she's like, oh, that looks nice. I was like, I know, I think I want to get it. Also, it's really fun wiggle stick that's on here, this Epiphone branded. It has like a Bigsby feel, if I remember correctly, when I was using the one that was at Sweetwater. Nice and smooth, kind of subtle, kind of vintagey feeling. I love the little wood end piece there on the trapeze. Such a cool, unique piece of wiggle stick technology. I love these vintage style knobs. They actually remind me of these knobs that I'm very partial to, that I harvested off of an old Yamaha amp, and I just keep swapping them around to different guitars because I think they're so cool, and I think these are cool too. I love that vintage look and feel. I wonder if they got these made especially for these guitars. Pretty standard three-way switch there, but mini buckers. I'm a huge fan of mini buckers. I think they're the highest personality, most interesting sounding humbuckers out there. Apparently, the pickups in this model, the 150th anniversary Crestwood, actually uses USA Gibson pickups. So these are a higher quality, higher value pickup that they put in these things. Something I noted when I checked out one of these for the first time at Sweetwater at GearFest, they had the prototype out at the Gibson booth, and there's a little gap there. They said at the booth, like, oh no, that's just on the prototype. Nope. I was looking at Sweetwater, and they all have it. They all have this funny little gap right here. A little bit of design oversight there, where they didn't get it spaced perfectly right. These pickup rings here are part of the issue. They wouldn't fit in that rounded little corner there. I wonder if I pulled off the pick guard and squared off those ends. If I wanted to, I could push the whole pick guard over just a tiny little bit and get it flush. Technically what I would consider a design flaw, but I'm kind of into the charm of it. I kind of like that about this guitar. But I'm a bit of a weirdo. Also, I'm a huge fan of the Epiphone Batwing headstock. Yes, please. Yes, 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 yes. I love seeing Epiphone bringing back fun details like this, leaning into Epiphone's heritage as a brand that existed before Gibson. Yes, 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 yes. And the inlays. I love the inlays. These like Dr. Mario pill style inlays, and it's got binding around the neck. And it's light. I love a light, small-bodied guitar. Let me grab the scale, see what it weighs. 6.7 pounds. A real lightweight. All right, I want to get it plugged in and see what it sounds like. I like it already, and I'm only on the middle position, barely playing the thing. And I'm just connecting to it, which is what happened when I tried it. What was that, like 6, 7, 9 months ago? Something like that, back in June. Forever ago, and I've been thinking about it ever since. So anyways, the amps. I am not running into the 2 Princeton's rig right now, because as you can see, one of my Princeton's is missing. It's a little sick. It's got red tubes. Thoughts and prayers for my black panel Princeton. So instead, we will be deployed on the yacht club. All aboard! All hands on deck. We're setting sail for the high-priced seas of the yacht club. This time I'm using the Rev D25 and the Tone King Imperial Mark II. So anyways, let's start on the bridge pickup. What does this guitar sound like? And along the way, I'll discover what it feels like. I feel like that bridge pickup has got to come down. It is too close. Let's lower that. I'll lower the neck too while I'm at it. There we go. Nice chicken picking twang to it. Oh, it feels fast. I like that. It's like the action might need to be raised just a hair for my own personal preferences. Let's try it with some surf reverb from the Source Audio True Spring. Try the neck pickup now. Sounds warm. I'm loving this wiggle stick too. Still has this like spanky sort of feel and sound to it too. That's what I love about mini buckers. They're humbuckers, they have that focus mid-push going on, but they still have this like high personality twang that you don't typically find in standard size humbuckers. It sits right in between what I like about single coils and what's great about humbuckers. You don't have the hum. You just don't have it. But it's got that personality. Middle position now. Nice and glassy. I was a teenager in the 90s. Can you tell? Let's try it with some reverb on that middle position. Well, I'm having fun. Again, like, when I first tried this at Sweetwater last year, immediate bond. And it's back. Like, it's got a feel that is very familiar to me and very nostalgic, very precious to me. It has this very lightweight duosonic quality to it, even though, like, looking at it is not a duosonic. Obviously, it's not a duosonic. It's got mini humbuckers instead of single coils. It's got a wiggle stick. It's got a tunematic bridge. It's got 4 knobs, but it has that very thin, light, compact feeling body. It feels friendly to me because I'm used to playing. I've spent so many years of my life playing that duosonic and having it be just part of who I am as a musician. When I pick up a guitar that reminds me of that, like, it's just an instant connection, and I just feel like I'm having a good time. Oh, gotta turn the neck pickup back up. raise the action on the treble side of the bridge. It's getting a little bit too spicy for me. Also, it looks like it has an incredibly shallow break angle across that saddle. I'd worried that, yeah, a little bit of pressure pulls it out of that saddle. So yeah, I'll need to raise the bridge just a little bit on that side to get a little better break angle across that. A little better, you know, hold the string in ability. But this trem is very interesting too. It's got a different width on the shaft for every single string. I'm assuming to make it so that when you use the trem, all the strings change pitch kind of equal to each other. Famously with Bixby style trims, which it's visually different, but technically doing that sort of thing. But traditionally with Bixby trims, you get this out of tune chorusing because they're all in the same width bar. And the strings all change pitch differently as you use the trim. It sounds very smooth and very musical. Can't help myself. So yeah, I'm stoked. I'm off to the races with this thing. I'm gonna make adjustments to it per my own personal preferences. I don't know if I'll make any sort of modifications. Maybe I'll swap the switch out. I have a type of switch that I prefer. I'm sure at some point I'll get into the guts of it and take a look around. But other than that, I'm stoked. I got a demo guitar. It's cheaper than it would have been. I mean, the prices of Epiphones these days. Am I right, guys? It's like we're paying for Gibsons now. But I couldn't help it. I've been dreaming of this thing. I fell in love with it at first strum. I've been wanting it in my life ever since, and now I've got it. And huge thanks to Sweetwater for helping make that possible, and everyone watching right now. You all make the dream happen around here. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments, support us on Patreon, buy a shirt if you're naked, and click the links down below. Go check out all of the demo listings on Sweetwater. You might find something that you thought was out of reach for you financially, but now it's $100, $200, $300 off because it has a little tiny imperfection on it that someone didn't like, and so they returned a guitar. And as you can see, like this one had damage listed, and I can't find it. I think maybe the person was complaining about that little gap there at the edge of the nut. Some people are very picky. I'm not one of them. So anyways, thanks for watching. Stay grounded. Bye, everybody.